Day 42 of the national emergency. Are you still out there? I'm needing a little, right? I miss you. You know who I really miss today? All my therapists. I mean, the telehealth is working, yeah, for sure. But I like the comfy couch, and I like the face-to-face. But for now, I'll stick with the telehealth. It's the beginning of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak, everyone. So right now, I want everyone to start thinking of a famous character or a famous person. Could be an actor or a character from a film that you know. Jana Powers, an artist, is going to be on in just a little bit. And we're going to take some suggestions. She's going to go over the weekend and do her magic stuff. And she's going to create a picture right before our very eyes on Monday. Oh, yeah. These are some quotes for the week. It's been an amazing week. Every show was better than the next. And I just went back. I was watching some of the old footage today, and there were some amazing quotes. So just the other day, Carla Rhodes was on, and she gave us what I think was one of the best quotes of all time. Monk's gonna monk. Of course, she was talking about monkeys. I listened in on a group of clowns from Clowns Without Borders the other day on one of their Zoom meetings. Dr. Squeeze came up with this. Sometimes just being a clown in the room is enough. This was something I just kind of got from the news. We're all wearing these masks to protect others. Now, this came from the stream. Leah Morris, wonderful musician, we all know and love her. I think she was referring to Chris Manley and his son Monty dancing on the birthday show. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Mother Nature just the other day. And then this is actually a quote we'll get to later today when we talk with Sarah Thacker. Now, you have to move fast in the pandemic because once the president announces the new cure, it's all gone. Like, I called Amazon, all the chewables are gone. All the inhalers are gone. The only thing I could get from my family were the suppositories, right? I got 2 boxes just in case we ran out. Have you ever tried to make out with a nurse wearing a mask? I have. It's a lot of fun. Oh, good news. Dispatches from the Social Distance is expanding its news department, and we have got, yes, a new segment. We've got a new segment that we're airing tonight. It's called Man in the Street. send our intrepid cub reporter out into the street to get some interviews from on the ground. So, are you there? Can you hear me?
Are we on? No.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. I can't hear. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Huh?
Where
What?
are you? Yeah.
I'm outside this,
Okay.
I'm here. I'm in the minivan.
Okay, but where are
And
you?
I'm outside of this empty park. Minivan.
Yeah, I see that it's
I can't-
empty, but is there anyone that you can interview? You
What? No. Huh?
know, man in the street?
No. I'm not getting outside the minivan. Huh? What are you, new?
Oh.
There's a pandemic. There's nobody around. There's nobody out here. What do you mean, man in the street? There's nobody.
You're the one who said you wanted to get out of the studio. You're the one who said you wanted to get out into the field like Yamiche Alcindor
don't
and
with me.
Lisa
Don't.
Desjardins.
Listen, you're no Judy Woodruff.
We've got a really big show tonight. Are we going to man in the street somebody or not?
I'm not getting out of this van. I'm not.
Okay. Well then, is there anything you'd like to report from inside the minivan?
Well, we need new windshield wipers. And we need some gas. And who's going to Dunky D's? Munchkin wrappers everywhere? What? Iced coffees? I thought we weren't doing that during the pandemic. Oh yeah, and we need a little sign that says dispatches for the mic for when I'm like,
Okay.
okay.
Sounds
Sounds
good,
good.
Cub reporter. We'll check in later.
Reporting from live in the minivan. Right. Now back to you.
Yeah, now back to me. That's the whole... I can't even believe that he messed up the now back to you part. All right. Like I said, we're just getting into increasing our news department. We'll be back to the Man in the Street segment later. Listen, check this out. Some of you will remember this just from the other night, but we're going to bring it up again when I talk to therapist Sarah Thacker.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a
Amazing. So now, Sarah Thacker is a therapist here in New York City who deals with patients with trauma and anxiety, which I think we're all going through right now. So it seemed to me a good time to have this kind of a conversation. So let's bring Sarah in. Hello, Sarah. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking your time out. I know that you're super busy right now. I know a lot of people, need and want to speak with you. I had some ideas. I was wondering if you could paint a picture for us first, just so we get some terms set. Like, what's the difference between big T trauma and little t trauma?
Yeah, so when you're thinking about trauma, the way that a big T trauma would be something that might be like a soldier in combat or witnessing a crime or having something very traumatic happening in that way where you're physically harmed or emotionally harmed in an extreme way. Whereas little T traumas are thought of as things that still have unresolved emotional residue, no matter what they are, and they just build up over time. So that could be things like losing a job or a relationship or just problems in general in terms of just feeling anxious or depressed. Like those pieces and anything that could be perceived as creating internal distress that was unresolved can be a little T trauma.
Got it. And so then, can you give us a brief description of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems?
Yeah, sure. So the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight mode. And so our body goes into that state of where cortisol and adrenaline are released, and our thinking is not quite as clear because all the energy is directed towards creating a sense of safety or an opportunity to survive in those moments. Whereas the parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest mode, and that's really where we should be living all the time, unless there is a true emergency or some type of threat happening, which of course then we need that system to come into play to create an opportunity to be safe.
Okay, so those being kind of four terms that I think are really important right now, what are some examples of big T and little t traumas that people are going through right now because of this pandemic?
Yeah, so I think on a just kind of global level, we're all experiencing some type of distress. And so everyone is experiencing those little T traumas in terms of maybe fears around whether the economy is going to be stable, whether they'll have a job, a place to live, be able to pay their rent and bills and things like that. Whereas big T traumas, anybody who's enduring the illness or, has a loved one who's been diagnosed or has maybe worse, gone on to pass from this. And so there's a lot of things really impacting and in so many ways impacting everyone in some type of traumatic way that is creating this lingering unresolved feeling. And because there's no end in sight or there's no real specific known direction out of this right now, that just creates that kind of general anxiety just underneath the surface all the time.
Okay, so fascinating. So just to confirm that I'm understanding, for example, when we get this chronic news, that we're watching all the time, and of course it's not good news. This news that's just deluging us is bad news. So that chronic exposure to this news is a solid little T trauma,
Yes.
but it causes a spike in cortisol.
Yes. So if you're watching TV, absolutely, and taking in the news constantly and hearing about every new potential treatment or thing, and then it's been taken away, all of those are just creating this underlying just angst about it all, which is the part of that little T trauma, absolutely.
But the thing that I find fascinating is that, the human body is kind of an analog thing. And cortisol is the ignition signal for us, to get into the mode of fight or flight. So our body cannot, when the cortisol fires, the body can't discern whether we're being eaten by a lion or being chased by a lion, or we're just watching some craziness on the news.
Right. Exactly. And so the body doesn't know the difference whether it's happening in our mind, even if it's just something we're thinking about, watching the news, anything that's creating that heightened sense of stress, and the stress response then happens, again, regardless of whether we are truly in some type of current threat, like being chased by a lion, or whether it's just something that we're taking in terms of news, information, talking about it, anything that's just causing those constant spikes of potential cortisol being released, adrenaline, and causing that feeling. Yeah.
Okay. So we know it. We're in this pool of things on a moment-to-moment basis that can spike our cortisol. So my understanding is then we have to consciously help the body get back into the rest and digest parasympathetic mode.
Absolutely. And these are things, just kind of life is stressful in general. And so this heightened amount of stress, I think even if you already had some type of self-care routine of some sort, right now is a great time to beef it up and to really look at the foundations of well-being. And those are movement, so having some type of physical movement to have a release of the stress and a release of that, to physically be able to feel more grounded in your body. Nutrition is really important as a part of a self-care routine, just to make sure you're adequately nourishing your body. There's a lot of stress eating and things going on right now because people are very anxious, and so we tend to go towards things like sugar, carbohydrates over vegetables right now when stress is there. But just making sure and that's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just making sure you're adequately still providing nourishment for your body through some good nutrition. And active relaxation of some sort. So doing like meditation, mindfulness work, guided breath work, anything that helps to restabilize the nervous system, as well as things that are more passive relaxation. So things that are, just kind of watching a comedy or doing something that's taking your mind off of the, whatever is going on, to give yourself an opportunity to have a mental break from that. And so some of that kind of just general relaxation, but also some very intentional relaxation is very helpful to reset the nervous system. And then the last one is sleep, and having adequate sleep, because when sleep is disrupted, inevitably then that causes the mind to be more overactive, and then the next day feeling tired and maybe more cranky. And so it just creates that snowball effect. So those are really important kind of just foundations of self-care, to begin to notice, am I doing these basics? And then if not, what's one area that I could focus on to try to beef up in this time, and then over time increase all of those areas so that you feel like you're creating an opportunity to be well through this experience.
Right. And that just takes me back to why I played Abigale's harp music in the beginning, because just like the anxiety-provoking elements are all around us now, or seemingly all around us, so too are the peaceful things, the things that we can take to heart, the people that we love, poetry, beautiful photographs, the sun outside, music. These things, sometimes we overlook them, we take them for granted, thinking perhaps they're not as important as the anxiety-provoking moment-to-moment things, but really they are, because they can, if we take them in, if we let them in, they can help us to heal.
Absolutely. Yeah, those would be wonderful ways to increase that active relaxation, any type of creative outlet. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Sarah. So I just want one last question. And we did post some links, and we will post more, but can you just tell us, like, where can people find therapists? Where can they reach out to someone if they need?
Yeah. So the largest kind of database of therapists that is nationwide is Psychology Today. And then beyond that, there are some really great ones for if you're in the New York City area, NYC Well. They have a ton of great resources, and My Wellbeing is a wonderful one specific to New York, as well as Advocate, which is, I think they're California and maybe some larger cities in New York, but they're therapist matching services, so they help you plug in what you want support around, and then they match you with therapists who would best fit those
Oh.
needs. So some of that, like scrolling through 100 pages on Psychology Today off of that. But Psychology Today is still a wonderful resource because there's a ton of, you can type in some of your own search things on that as well. But yeah, there's some great resources out there.
Yeah, I've definitely used the search, and narrowing down the search function on Psychology Today. It's wonderful. It's helped me every time I've used it. Well, thank you very much, Sarah. I know you're busy. Please stay safe, stay well, and maybe you'll come back and we'll just continue this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you stay safe and healthy as well. I hope everyone is doing the same. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wonderful. Wonderful things and helpful things. Okay, I hope you have your characters ready. We're bringing Jana on right now. If I can push the right buttons. Boom. It's all about the buttons, people. Really, this whole thing is really just about the buttons. Oh, here she is. You know her, you love her.
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you?
All right. Wow. I have just been handed by my engineer friend. She's not, sometimes the engineer on the show, you know her actually, Kate O'Connell.
Oh yeah, I met her once. She was the engineer. Yeah.
Yeah. She moonlights in the healthcare industry. I looked. She's like, "Hey, Jana."
Hey.
So, all right. She just handed me a list of characters, but first, I want to show off some of your really cool work. Boom. Okay. So, these are the kinds of drawings. Oh, there's the Joker. And then this black and white one.
Yeah.
Very awesome. And then you are also a commission artist.
I am. That's right.
All right. So what I have up now is the commissions list. And people can pick. They can choose a style, color, black and white, or sketch. And then they can pick a size head or the head and the torso.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
now,
unfortunately not doing legs right now.
Okay, yes. You know what? As far as I can tell, no one has legs anymore. We've given them up. And they can, of course, have that in a digital or in a print.
Yeah, so you can get the commission is always digital, but if you would like to get a print with it, I will print it from my printer, and then I will ship it to you, so you have both a digital copy and a copy that you can frame, hang up on your wall, whatever you want to do.
Awesome. I know I'm going to take advantage of that. Mitch Kahn, I would love to see your face on my wall if we can. All right. So they've given me this list. Wow. Okay. So I'm just going to read these off to you, and you see what sparks joy.
Okay.
All right. First of all, we have Aunt Tina.
Oh,
Who doesn't
Tina,
love Aunt
yeah.
Tina? Yeah.
Haven't met her yet, but we'll soon.
Yeah. Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, 2 for 1.
I don't know if that counts as a double. Boris Badenov, Cyrano, and Bullwinkle.
And Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
I am up for the challenge of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Great. Awesome.
I think that'll be really fun. That'll be a good time.
So just so everybody knows, now you're going to take this concept over the weekend and you're going to draw, but you're going to make a movie while you draw?
Yeah. Yeah, so I will record the whole illustration process from like bare bones sketch all the way to fully fleshed out colors. And that process is long and boring, and so I record it and I'm gonna speed it up into like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and you get to see the whole process. And it'll be
awesome.
maybe slap some music on it. I don't know.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you now that you've got this great charge, although please stick around and watch the rest of the show for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Antina is coming up in a little bit. But first we have this awesome poem. You know, Ramadan, it's the beginning of Ramadan. We've got this awesome poem. Chris Adams, kind of one of our poets in residence, is going to recite for us. So,
Oh, awesome.
thank you. Be safe.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch over the weekend, and we'll talk.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, Jana.
See you, Scott. Bye, guys.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, awesome. That's launched. Now, let's get to our poet. One of our poets. We have many poets in residence. Christopher Adams.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm well.
So before you get to the poem, quick question, and this was a little bit of the reason why I also asked you on. You mentioned the first time you were with us that you were teaching the kids Julius Caesar.
Yes,
And it was a little bit more difficult with the distance learning than usually in the classroom.
I mean, of course, we met each. Go ahead. Did you have more?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear. So, what did you do? How did you work around that?
In some ways, I didn't. I kind of abbreviated a lot of that. What I would have done in the classroom. I mean, you and I met when we were in school in studying drama, so we know that to really really get to the beauty of Shakespeare, that language, which lets you understand like how he was this brilliant master of characterization and psychology. You got to get the words in your mouth. If the words aren't in your mouth, where you're really saying them out loud, you're hearing other people say them out loud and repeat them, you lose a lot of it. So I did give them some kind of what I call performance assignments, so that they would have to either memorize a piece, and I would do a video conference with them and watch them, memorize, recite their piece back to me, or they would record themselves doing a scene with a partner. That way, they could just be reading it, sort of like how we would have done in class, but they would have a chance to practice it, to give it, some, to zhuzh it up and make it hopefully, give a little bit of that flavor that we would have had if we had, were doing it in class. But at a certain point, I realized that, this is just not going to be the meaningful experience that I want them to have. So I was like, let me just get out of this what we can get out of it, and move on to. We've abbreviated our school year here in Georgia, so we're ending May 15th. We usually one more full week is what we usually go to. So I said, you know what? This is our unit that we're supposed to be looking at Middle Eastern writers. That's why it's interesting that I'm going to be looking at this poem on Ramadan. You may have given me my lesson for next week, sir.
Awesome. Well, let's hear it. This is an awesome poem. Actually, I was talking with Mary Rawlings up in Chicago. She's a deacon, and we had her on the show on Good Friday, and we were just talking about how we're both interested in exploring other religions, and how one of the great things about humanity is we have all these varied cultures, and we like to see these moments and places where we all overlap. And so she recommended this poem to me, and I'm so happy that you took up the challenge of reading it tonight.
Yes. Well, and it really fits in. Like, I'm really serious. I might be looking at including this. My course that I teach is a high school course called World Literature, and we kind of take a tour around the world outside of the U.S. and Europe, and looking at major writers from antiquity to modern times. So I just did, for example, I don't know if you know the little spiritual volume by Khalil Gibran called The Prophet. And it's a very spiritual way of looking at the different questions of life. We've done some of Lao Tzu, of the Tao Te Ching. We've done, a bit of the Bhagavad Gita. So we really look at a lot of that stuff. So this really is kind of a nice touch to what I already do.
Awesome. Well, Chris, take it away.
All right. So this is Ramadan by a poet whose name is Kazim Ali. You wanted to be so hungry you would break into branches. And you have to choose between the starving month's 19th, 21st, and 23rd evenings. The liturgy begins to echo itself, and why does it matter? If the groundwater is too scarce, one can stretch nets into the air and harvest the fog. Hunger opens you to illiteracy. Thirst makes clear the starving pattern. The thick night is so quiet. The spinning spider pauses. The angel stops whispering for a moment. The secret night could already be over. You will have to listen very carefully. You are never going to know which night's mouth is sacredly reciting and which night's recitation is secretly mere wind.
Mm.
Yes.
Beautiful. And this too.
Yeah, I'm right. Spirit fingers.
Yeah. That was beautiful. Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for including me tonight.
Oh, please. Anytime, you're welcome. And so now that I know that you're getting off a week early, I'm going to be coming back to you because so far we've had you reciting other people's works, but next time I want to hear a Chris Adams.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this is like, just you got a sense of me talking about what's been going on with teaching. With trying to translate what you do one-on-one with someone, sort of like how you've been doing this brilliant job of producing a show in a very different way than you've ever produced a show. It is a lot harder than what you've been used to doing.
Yeah.
So I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So when I have some space, that'd be lovely to do that.
Yeah, and remember what Sarah Thacker just said: get some rest.
Oh yes.
Rest and digest. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Beautiful. All right. Now, very exciting. Matt Cusack. I'm telling you, it's just all about the buttons. Matt is a musician and an actor. Seen on Broadway stages, Roundabout's revival of The Robber Baron. He was in Sweeney Todd and The Buddy Holly Story. And funny thing about The Buddy Holly Story, my dad, the third album that he ever bought was Buddy Holly's Greatest Hits. Loved it. There he is. Buddy Holly himself. How are you, Matt?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. So where...
Bridegroom.
The Robber Bridegroom. Yeah, no, I know. Robber Bridegroom, Sweeney Todd, and Buddy Holly. You were being digitally crossing over when I was going down the list.
Love it.
Yeah. There were others too, but I mean, really, it's only a half-hour show.
Too expensive to really touch on everything, right?
Yeah. So, Broadway guy. Now, would you take on the moniker of Triple Threat? Because I think you're a triple threat.
Well, don't ask me to dance, please.
Okay. Okay, so let's call you a double threat with a beard.
I have been asked to. It takes me quite a while to learn.
Okay. Hey, all we got is time.
My mother's ashamed of it because she's a tap dancer.
Oh, yeah.
So, familial tensions there.
There it is. I'm glad we got right to it. We had a therapist on earlier, and that's what I want to get to. Your relationship with your parents. Okay, so what did you do when you first hit the city?
Yeah. Well, I worked at a museum called Discovery Times Square for a minute. That was exciting.
Nice, yeah. Okay, we all have
I
those,
was
yeah.
trying to, I write my own songs and stuff, so I was hustling that way. And I'd come off a couple tours. I was in band in England for a while. I came back and I really was starting from scratch here, and so yeah, just hit the ground running. And as like we were talking about, you know, it's a great way to learn in a city is by that sort of freelance hustle of getting gigs all over town and seeing those little nooks and crannies. You know what I'm talking about?
Lower East Side,
Exactly.
parts of Brooklyn that you could never imagine.
I never would want to go to.
Yeah, yeah. But also you find the great places to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Like DeFerris Pizza.
There
Never
you
thought of
go.
that place.
There you go. And so did you find it hard to break into the Broadway scene?
No.
I knew I was going to put you on the spot with that one. So what up? What up?
You see, you setting me up, knocking them down.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of like actors that I work with and I love. My sort of like niche is super specific, and so the doors kind of were very logical and kind of fell and walked through them, you know, path of least resistance sort of thing. And
Right.
I've been very fortunate to work
And so,
for a long time.
yeah, so the path then involves music and
Yeah.
acting, right? So and
Yeah, because I went to school for jazz, not theater, and so my background's in music and getting to acting is just sort of like, oh, this guy plays these instruments and he can sing and not sound like an idiot when he's talking. That's great.
yeah, okay.
Well,
So
I'm doing them wrong right now.
talking about you know the jazz influence right here. We've got Begin Againers.
Yeah.
Beautiful rendition. Beautiful. Let me roll that and then we'll come back and I got a question for you about that.
All right.
It's nothing like a blank page. Get to start from scratch. It could be anything, man. There's no catch. It's a good thing for a dreamer. A good thing for a dreamer to dream away. Oh, a blank page. There's nothing like a clean slate. Get another shot. To do things like you meant to. First time you picked up the chalk. It's a good thing for a sinner. A good thing for a sinner, so I wait. Oh, for a clean slate. Sometimes I get caught up where I'm never meant to be. It's the curse of being free. The curse of being free. But baby, it's a good day for the travelers and the sinners. All the would-be winners. The everyday begin againers. Oh, begin againers. There's nothing like a full tank and an open road. Every destination is between somewhere and somewhere else in this great nation, and it's your world. It's a good thing for a traveler, a good thing for a traveler like cash in the bank. Oh, a full tank. Sometimes I get caught up where I never meant to be. It's the curse of being free. The curse of being free. But baby, it's a good thing for the travelers and the sinners. All the would-be winners. The everyday begin againers. Oh, begin againers.
Boom. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, and everyone will have the same experience that I had when I first heard that rendition of the song. Like, it just stuck with me for days.
Well,
Yeah.
I had the same experience when I saw Scott do it for the first time. It was a NPR Tiny Desk concert, and I was actually doing the Buddy Holly story at the time down in Bucks County, and I was like, I have to learn this song.
Yeah.
Just to do it. And I practice. It's hard. So I was practicing backstage in between scenes, like for the entire run, and then afterwards, I posted it, and all the guys I was working with at the time were like, "Oh, you got it, finally."
Yeah. That's what, yeah, because people who are in your vicinity, they watch the sausage being made. So, great. So, let me ask you then, does this song now about, begin againers, does this song have a different resonance for you now than it did back when you were learning it?
Well, certainly, taking into consideration what's happening right now in the world, and we're all sort of like figuring out what we're doing and how our craft sort of translates into this new reality, because we don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I've been doing that internet hustle.
That's right.
From scratch. Just trying to like get followers. It's something I've ignored my entire career because I don't connect in the same way through the screen as I do live performance. That's what I like to do. Yeah. And so it's sort of learning how to find joy in producing these little videos for the internet to enjoy,
Yeah, man, you're a begin againer. You and me both, brother. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for jumping in. This was great. It's great to meet
so
you.
Much for having me. It was a pleasure.
I'm very honored to be able to work with you, and I look forward to doing more of it.
Yeah. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, man. Thank you.
Right.
Talk to you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Yeah. I mean, we're all of us begin againers. Now, this next person I'm bringing up, Aunt Tina, I don't know. I don't know if she's a begin againer. I don't know if she's just continuing on. Let's see what Aunt Tina has to bring to the party. And actually, wherever Aunt Tina is, that's where the party is.
Oh my God.
There you are. Aunt Tina.
God, I just broke a nail. Oh.
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus, right. Do you know this is going to make me spiral through July?
Oh,
what?
No. Aunt Tina, a broken nail all the way through July?
All the way through July. Someone said salons weren't essential. They need to be arrested. This is not good. Oh, I'm in no mental state for this. How are you, Scott? I'm being rude. I'm not even asking how you are. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Aunt Tina. I'm wonderful. I'm sorry to hear about the nail, but it forces the question then, how did you break it?
I've been slaving away in this house. It's been insane, and then I was talking to my therapist and I said, I'm feeling extra unwell and anxious lately. And she suggested learning how to replay the ukulele. And I said, that's fucking stupid. And she said, you need to connect yourself to a higher power and really start to create something that'll take you out of your head and calm you down. I broke it trying to play Can't Help Falling in Love. You know that Elvis Presley song?
I do.
You do? Okay. Well, be careful before you dedicate that to a woman, because she'll take that to heart and she won't forget about it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm talking about Vinny, my first boyfriend. Anyways, so I broke it, and that threw my whole night off. Everyone says I'm overreacting, but I think we're all spending too much time together. So no more ukulele. That's the moral of that story.
Wow, yeah, Aunt Tina, you never really struck me as a ukulele type person, anyway.
You're not the first person to say that. You're not. I don't know what it is about me that gives people the impression I wouldn't know how to play a musical instrument, or that I wouldn't be able to see a project through, or like I don't know. What do you think I'd play, the fucking French horn? Like, that's insulting. I don't know.
No, honestly, Antina, I thought the cello.
Oh no, Scott, I'd break all 10 nails. I couldn't fucking have that. Are you kidding me? You think I have the hand? He thinks I have the hand-eye coordination for the cello. Oh my god, not me.
So you mentioned your first boyfriend. How is the dating thing? Because you mentioned last time that you were separated. Right now, how's the dating thing going?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'll stay separated till the day I die. Okay?
Cool.
Okay, because this marriage has already cost me enough, and I'm not gonna have it cost me any more money. Yes. So Vinny was my first boyfriend. Vinny, broke a nail over him, learning to play Elvis Presley. He ruined Elvis for me. Okay? Never ever let a man or a lover ruin an entire artist for you. That's number one. Okay? Immediately after Vinny, I said, no more men. I need to be on my own. No more men. My mother said, good idea. I said, I know. I swear to God, I promised Mother Teresa. I said, no more men. Vow of celibacy. Next night, I met Donnie at the diner. Literally next night. And he said, I want to marry you. And I said, shut the fuck up. And he said, I want to marry you. And I said, I'm not doing this right now. And then the third time, he said, I want to marry you. And I said, give it a month, and then we'll check back in. So Donnie and I get married. Donnie and I get married. Not in a church, okay? Not in a church. It was a whole thing with my mother. We've been together 28 years. And 2 years ago, he woke up and he said to me, I think you're too much and I'm not happy. So I said, there's the door. And that's it. And we've been separated ever since. So we're trying to make it work. But between you and I don't really think, I think the first thing I'm going to do when this quarantine's over is get a divorce because it's long overdue. So.
Yeah. Okay. So and please don't take this the wrong way, but you look really good. You look really fit. Like, what are you doing during this pandemic to stay so fit?
I'm going to let you, okay, Scott, you're a friend, okay? I'll let you in on something. I hired a trainer. I did. I hired a trainer. All right. And I could sit here and I could tell you that it's the programs and it's the dieting and it's the discipline. But I'm going to be really honest with you. We've been breaking social distancing and we fuck every 2 days.
Oh, gee.
And listen, it's cardio. I burn calories. I've never had definition like this in my life. Okay? Would you believe he's Mexican? He's not even Italian. I said I've never dated out of my,
Oh, gosh.
It's what's doing it. So I could say it's the workouts, but really it's Jose. So.
Okay.
Are they? Hi, babe. Hi. Donnie's not going to like this. Donnie's watching too, but Donnie can go fuck himself. So anyway.
How many calories do you think is burned in that? Because I've kind of been,
And all the, how many calories, Scott? If you added up all the calories that I gained from my stress weight, 28 years with that motherfucker, I burned times 2 in one session with Jose. Okay? I finally found a partnership that works for me.
Okay.
Too much time. It's like I'm 62 and a half, Scott. I don't feel a day over 19.
Oh my God! You look fantastic. I hope you're wearing masks and all the other protective gear that goes on with love making in these here days.
We're doing it very, very safely. In that way, we're doing it very safely. In other ways, not so much. But I'm in menopause, so we don't have a lot to worry about.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Scott. I've been on this show a few times, and I feel comfortable with you. I don't know.
That's what we want. We just want to talk to real people about real things, Antina.
Oh, Scott, I'll fucking give you real. I'll never give you anything not real.
We've had enough reality just, for the one session, and we look forward to more reality coming up soon.
Oh, I'll give you reality. Shit's about to go down. One of my sons tried to run away yesterday. I said, the fuck you think you're going? All the restaurants are closed. So we're going to have more to talk about next week. I don't think he's well. He misses his father. I don't know.
All right, Antina, please be safe, okay?
I'll try, Scott, but no promises. One life to live.
We care about you, Antina. All right. Thank you for spending some time with us, and we will be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't trust anyone, Scott. Remember, it's never worth it, okay?
I got you. Thank you, Auntie.
Bye.
Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe I haven't applied for any licenses yet for the show, but I'm sure if I had, we were going to lose them all after this episode. Oh my gosh. That was an enormous show. And thank you to each and every guest, and, you know, Antina times 2, for spending some time with us. 2 really awesome songs. I'm going to split them off and put them up on the internets there. Some you can already find, but what I'm suggesting is that you group together a bunch of songs that really chill you out, and then take some time for yourself, right? This weekend, definitely please practice some self-care. I miss you, and I care about you. All right. Hunker, hug, Haven. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.